Good morning! Welcome back to my channel. I'm up bright and early because I flew to Burbank last night and I'm crashing at a friend's house because I'm doing something really brave and fun today and I'm going to take you with me. Today I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm auditioning for the Wicked National Tour. Let's do a story time while I get ready. Fun fact about me, I actually grew up doing musical theater. Singing, acting, dancing, the whole 9 yards. It took up every single stitch of my time that I was not at school. And graduating high school, I actually decided to go pursue musical theater. So I chose a small school in Southern California that was known for their theater program, and off I went. And then maybe like a year in, I decided, you know what, I love doing theater, but I don't like the idea of a non-consistent paycheck. Joke's on me, look what I do for a job now. Then I wanted to switch to something that felt a little bit more practical. So I picked a degree that would get me a job. And I studied marketing. And I loved it. And I kept a theater minor. But the thing about my school is they kind of didn't like you once you switched majors. And after getting cast in 2 out of 3 shows my freshman year, I never got cast again. Because they wanted to prioritize theater majors, which I get, but it was really frustrating. So anyway, I was kind of bummed out by that. I went on, got my marketing degree, and thought my theater days were behind me because who has time to do that when you have a corporate 9 to 5? And then in the last couple of years, as I've quit my corporate job and I have a much more flexible schedule, I've been kind of toying, thinking, dreaming about the idea that I would, find some theater near me to participate in. And when I tell you I've been thinking about it, I mean only thinking. Thinking as in, maybe that'd be nice someday, not as in actively looking, anything like that. And then a couple weeks ago, I was on a retreat with a friend who is also a performer. I was kind of telling her, yeah, it'd be really nice to get back in the theater one day, but whatever. My usual spiel. And she, a couple hours later, was scrolling on Instagram and came across this open call for Wicked. And I went, no way. No way. Who do I think I am, first of all? And it's been almost 10 years since I've auditioned for anything. I haven't done anything since college. Now, obviously, I'm good enough to get into a college program, get cast in college shows, but I am not college Caitlin anymore. I look nothing like her. So my immediate reaction was absolutely the heck not. Even if I thought about auditioning for something as an adult, it's not going to be that right out of the gate. No. Next question. And then, hold on, I gotta focus on this eyeshadow part. A couple hours go by, a couple days go by, and I start thinking about it, okay? Still in the thinking phase. What if I book it and then I have to go on a national tour? I couldn't do that. When I was thinking about auditioning for adult theater, I meant something I could do in my evenings. Yes, my schedule's flexible so I can make it work, but I didn't mean this. And a few more days go by and I can't stop thinking about it. Okay, well, first of all, I don't know where my sheet music is. Haven't seen that in years. Don't even have character shoes. Don't even know if I need them. I haven't auditioned in forever. I forgot what the process is like. What am I going to sing? What am I going to wear? How am I going to get to LA? Is that crazy to even think about? I don't have a headshot. I don't have a resume. I have nothing to put on a resume. I haven't performed in 8 years. Am I crazy? Maybe. Hold on. The thing is, it is an open call. So anybody 18 and up can go. They're looking for singers who move well. I feel like I fall into that category. And I know that they're going to get all sorts of people. Normies, people that are just fans of the show, and really talented people. And thousands of them. So who am I to think that I can just go join this group, right? I'm delusional. And then I start thinking about it, right? What's the worst that can happen? They say no. I'm okay with that outcome. They would be crazy to say yes. So the fact that I'm okay with them saying no means what do I have to lose? I'm not afraid of the rejection because I hardly believe that I should be there in the first place. So I come to the conclusion that the worst possible outcome is that I waste a flight to LA. And if that's the worst possible outcome, why the heck not go? So then I start thinking, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm still in the if phase. What am I going to sing? What am I going to wear? Where is my music? Thankfully, I'm going down to my parents' house the next weekend. And I call my mom and I'm like, hey, do you know where any of this stuff is? She's like, look in the attic. So I start digging around my parents' attic. I come across a really old binder of sheet music. I go, great. It doesn't have what I'm looking for. It has every other song I've sung except for this one. Okay, I don't have a headshot. Guess what? I have a really good friend who always takes my branding photos. I bet she can come over. I'll put on a simple little outfit, go in my backyard. So I called my friend Natalie, and she came over, and we took a couple photos in my backyard, and she edited them right there and there. I placed a print order, headshots done. Okay, next step, resume. Again, haven't performed in like at least 8 years. I have nothing to show for. I'm not going to put CYT on my resume. I'm not going to put college on my resume when it's clear that I've been out of college for quite some time. And then I'm talking to my friend Erin. Again, shout out Erin for being my sounding board and even telling me about this in the first place. And she's like, well, you can put, the show and the role. It doesn't matter if the year, you don't have to put the place. You still did them. I'm like, yeah, but that was a whole different me. I mean, could I still do them? Yeah, but like, I'm not that girl, right? Wicked pun intended. I go, fine. I list my roles. I put that I'm a content creator because I know that that's kind of important for working actors currently. They want you to have an online presence. And maybe that'll set me apart. Who knows? So resume check. Checking all the boxes. Okay, book a flight. Okay, get a rental car. I had miles, so the flight was pretty much free. The rental car was really my only cost. I'm crashing with a friend. And the worst thing that happens is that I waste a couple hours on a Monday. Okay, so I call and tell my parents that I'm doing this. And I was really encouraged by the fact that, like, of everyone in my family that I told, nobody was like, wow, you really think you can do that? They're all my biggest cheerleaders when it comes to theater. And they're like, what are you going to do if you get it? And I go, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Because I have a 0.1% chance that I think I'm going to get it. I am going for the experience. I'm going for the vibes, okay? Not that I'm not taking this seriously, because I am, clearly. I flew down here. But I just have, like, low stakes mindset about it. The more I thought about it, like, yes, I'm out of practice, but I'm also so much more confident than I was in college. That Caitlin could never, even if I was right out of college, even if I had been auditioning left and right, I would have never had the confidence to do something like this. And that's really what this is. Yes, it's an audition and it's a fun little side quest, but it's an exercise in confidence. And it's really telling about how far I've come in my relationship with my body and self-esteem that I am willing to put myself out there and do this. And if at least one person who looks like me feels like they can go do something that they really want to do or haven't done in years or want to try again or want to start over, then do it. That's my ultimate goal in doing this. To show you that you can too. And honestly, I feel like there's a part of myself that I'm like healing my younger self by doing this. I grew up listening to Wicked, saw it so many times. It is ingrained as a core memory. And I feel like if I could tell my younger self that I'm doing this, if I can tell my future kids that I'm doing this, even if literally nothing comes of it, that's so cool. Okay, this is my outfit. Cutie little skirt, cutie little shirt. These are not the shoes I'm wearing. These are just my stand-in line for hours shoes. We're ready. I've got about an hour and a half drive ahead of me, but it is 8 a.m. Monday morning LA traffic, so I'm expecting it to take quite some time. And I need the time in the car to warm up and prepare, so off we go. I did it! After almost 4 hours in line, I got in right before they took a lunch break. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Okay, that's enough Wicked puns for one video. Walk in, no slate, they just say hi whenever you're ready. They cut it from 16 bars to 8 bars. So I picked right chunk middle of the song. I sang Right Hand Man from Something Rotten, and I think I nailed it. I took 2 seconds at the beginning because I forgot where I wanted to start. So he said, whenever you're ready, and I was like, I've never heard this song before in my life. I don't know any of the lyrics. I don't know what I'm doing. It felt so long. It was probably 3 seconds. And then I started and I nailed it. So we'll see what happens. Probably nothing, but I'm so proud of myself for doing it. It was so fun. It wasn't fun standing in line for that long, but I brought snacks and I brought my book. I finished my book. I made a couple friends. And yeah, I'm just proud of myself for going. That was awesome. And now I can say I did it. Yay!